Welcome back to my weekly Everyone Can Win video newsletter. I am Jason Pearl, and in 5 minutes or less, I'm going to share knowledge with you that I have gathered over my 20 plus years experience of leading businesses and leading people. This is a newsletter that's going to focus on all topics related to leadership, growth, and entrepreneurship. And today I've got a concept to talk to you about that everyone has both been a part of on the front end and been probably on the receiving end of. Yes, I am talking about gossip. And yes, this is a leadership, growth, and entrepreneurship newsletter focus. And you may say, why are you talking about gossip, Jason, when it comes to these core areas of business? Well, you and I both know that if you've ever sat in an office, if you've ever been on a Zoom call for work, you know that gossip happens, and it happens often, and it's extremely detrimental. So that's why I wanted to focus a little time today on this topic of gossip. So I've got 5 main points to talk about. And the first point is this: we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. God designed us that way to listen twice as much as we speak. No one regrets listening, truly listening. A lot of people regret speaking. So one of the first points I could give you when it comes to gossip is listen. Okay. You don't have to speak. You don't have to add to an already bad situation. Secondly, just make it a promise to yourself that you're just going to speak to what you're experienced in and what you're knowledgeable in. Oftentimes, gossip comes from thinking that you can speak into an area or a situation that you maybe aren't experienced in, or maybe you haven't been in that situation before. If that's the case, the easy out here is just not to say anything. Say, I'm not experienced with that. I've never been in that situation. I don't know what I would do if I was. Just don't engage in that. 3, don't say anything about someone that you wouldn't directly say to their face. I know this seems like kind of golden rule-ish, but think about this. If you're going to have a conversation about someone, especially in a business setting, expect that to get back to the other person. If you're comfortable with whatever you said getting back to the other person, then maybe you can say it. But if it has a negative connotation, if it's hurtful, if it's gossipy, then you shouldn't be saying it. You should just stop that conversation right then and there. It's secret. It's kind of fun to whisper and do that. And ultimately, it's extremely damaging for you and your individual career. And if you happen to be a leader, very, very problematic for your people. 4, shut gossip down if you're in a conversation. This is something that I have had to mature and learn over time. Am I perfect at it? Of course not. None of us are perfect. But here's something that you need to think about. If somebody is gossiping and you're in that conversation, let me give you one sentence that can shut gossip down right away. This is a takeaway that you can use immediately. You can just say, I don't think Jane Doe would appreciate us talking about her that way. Say that and then shut up. I would guarantee you that that's going to shut down probably 80 to 90% of the conversations. That's a very practical takeaway. And then 5, I understand gossip sometimes may seem like we're just sharing some information about someone else. I know it, so why can't I share it? It can seem sometimes interesting and fun, but oftentimes things that aren't good for us do maybe seem like they could be interesting or fun, but it's going to cause division, hurt feelings, and ultimately lack of trust. Whether it be a professional, a leader, or an entrepreneur, the quickest way to lose a team or to lose colleagues is by engaging in that gossip. Because if, as you know, the game of telephone, you say something to one person and it changes and changes as it gets to other people. That's going to happen when you're gossiping about somebody. Whatever you said could turn into something even worse, which would put you in a very difficult situation as a leader or as a partner or as a colleague. There's so much that we could say on this topic, but what we do know for as a fact is that gossip is wrong. It's not going to benefit you. It's not going to benefit your leadership style. It's not going to benefit your career. So what you should do is just exit out of any of that conversation as quickly and as professionally as possible. I know that this isn't going to stop gossip, but if you're listening to this and you happen to be in one of those environments where this is running rampant, try some of these takeaways and see if it helps you exit out of some of these. If you enjoyed this conversation, if you're thinking, hey, I didn't expect Jason to be talking about gossip today, I'd appreciate if you could share this with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe to the Everyone Can Win video newsletter. You can do that by visiting jasonmpearl.com, and you can find all sorts of other ways to connect with me and some free guides that are listed on that website. So thanks again for tuning in today. Until next time, I'm Jason. I'm out. Peace.